Michael DiLeonardo, also known as Mikey Scars. The government says he's a high-ranking member of the Gambino crime family.
Joe Pastone's testimony, and I even heard Bill Bonanno talk about it, and I heard Valachi talk about it. People say, like, the common thing you hear is that people, like the general public, the people watching, they think that the life is like this, like, super action-packed, sexy, thrill-driven, being on a roller coaster thing. Can you give like an elevator speech on, like, what's the typical day in the life of an average guy who's in the mafia? When he wakes up in the morning.
It depends on the guy. It depends on the age.
Yeah, but you met everybody. Like, so what's the, like, take me, I don't know nothing about the life. Explain to me what my life would have been like if I followed you around prior to being boss, big time money making Mikey Scars. Back when you say 88, 89, if I was with you for a day, the average day is spending with you for the day, what would it look like?
Well, then I had a job, let's see, with the Teamsters around that time. So I go down to the city, and there's surveillance photos you can see. I go there, and Jackie would show up most of the time. And we hang out a bit. And then I would go to one of the clubs in the neighborhood. Before I was going to the Raven Night just about every night, out to Queens. But before, talk about everybody else that would go there just about, there was Sparrows and George DeCicco's clubs without everybody else's club. People would get up in the morning and go to the club and hang out all day, play cards and hang around. Around dinner time, they would go home. The younger guys, most of the time, would go out. They go meet their friends and go out. The older guys would stay home. A lot of the guys. Everybody was different. There was no rule of thumb. But the nucleus of everything was going to that social club. That was where you went. If you didn't have a job, you had nothing going on, you'd have no business. Everybody went from, like, Sparrow's Club was one of the best places to be because you'll find somebody. You need to get a message to somebody. If you weren't a guy that hung out and played cards every day or just sat around, break balls and eat, then you go there and you'll find somebody to make an appointment because every family was there. That was the hub.
If you were a broke guy never had two nickels to rub together, but someone sees you in a social club every day, is it like regular life when you're like, why are you here all day? You're broke. Go out and rob. I love that Joe Messino thing. You're broke. Go out and rob. Like, go do something.
Well, Frankie told me that when they took over. Paulie Zach, again, you know, I love the guy, so it's hard to talk negative, but I do, you know, because he had his shortcomings when it came to gambling. Frankie says, this guy, that's all he wants to do is sit in the club and play pinochle all day. Go out and earn some money. Go do something. Frankie and I had a lot of talks. And I wasn't even made at the time. And that's what he said. I love to give this guy a job as a captain, but he owes so much money. After Lilo was sick, and then Lilo died in like the fall of '86. Frankie was dead by April. But in between there, when they took over, I wasn't made. And we said, look at this guy. That's all he wants to do is sit there and play pinochle all day. Go out and create something. Go do something. Well, he was just content to go into the club every day, short money, borrowing money from everybody, destroyed his life. But that was typical of the broke guy. Paulie Zach was broke.
So when you were making money and in a position of power, was it the same? Get up in the morning, go to the club, or like, what was your life like?
I don't know about obligations at that time. I didn't have the leisure. Whenever I had a chance with my own friends, if it snowed, if it was a bad rainy day and I had nothing to do, we go to the club. We have our own club. We moved it around even to restaurants. play cards. And we play Continental, buy a box of cigars, get there at night. Joe Babe would make cheap food. Matter of fact, funny story. Joe Babe was around Joey D'Angelo. I was going to straighten Joe Babe out. Joey Serrano. Like Joey a lot. And they had a club off 18th Avenue. And we'd go there play Continental, and Joe would have all these cold cards, and we go to a pizza or something like that once in a while. I thought, this guy, he didn't want to spend no money. They're cutting the game. So one day, when I was going there, right, because I would buy like 2-3 boxes of cigars for everybody to smoke. We had a person keeping score, usually one of my friends or Joey's friends starting to make earn a living. So anyway, I made all these peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I brought them all to the club to break balls. So that would be our play time, to relax. But then at the serious side, when I had to get my ass out to Queens with Junior and run around with a lot of stuff, or do you even just go to eat with him and talk about things? So it was, you're trying to juggle besides your personal life. My personal life usually started after 12 o'clock at night. I go out to the club, So that was my enjoyment, going out to the clubs and playing around. But usually it was late.
Did you check in with Junior every day?
Just about, yeah. Sometimes I'd be doing it all day, go home, change, shower, relax a little, have dinner, and then out until 4, 5, 6. Because, again, if I finished with him early, or I would go to a club, go hang out and drink all night. Hang around my other set of friends.
So was he like his dad, where he wanted you guys to be checking in, touching base with him?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So he was like that, too?
Oh, yeah, he wasn't. Even the associates he had, they could never get straightened out. I told you the story. I walked in there one night. He called me he had somebody call me 12 or 1 in the morning. I went out to Queens. He played Continental. He was an ever-ready bunny. He never got tired, this guy. And he could drink. He'd drink a bottle of gin, a bottle of vodka. Never got tired. Not to say he did that every night. When we went drinking, a strong constitution. He was there playing. He'd be there 3 in the morning playing cards, and everybody's like half dead, and he'd be wide awake. And he didn't do that kind of drugs. He just had that energy level. So I walk in the club one night, and all the guys are laying on the couches. After he called me, I was already going somewhere else. And I walk in, I says, you go home, you go home, you go home. He goes, what are you doing? You go home, you go home. I'll stay with him. See you later. Go home to your wives or your girls. You got to get up in the morning. What are you doing? He told me. I let him all go home. You want to hang out? I'll hang out with you.
You see, the funny thing about Junior, all we know about him is his public persona when he's on the interview or sitting with Patrick. But Junior seems very serious, when me studying him, me reading his book and stuff. But you tell stories sometimes like he was like a ball breaker and funny and all this. But he doesn't. But would you agree that the way he talks public, every time I hear him talking, he's very stoic, very strong posture, got a tight t-shirt on, he's flexing.
He soldiered up. He
soldiered up. That's the word. But how often? But was he like a total could he be like a big goofy guy?
Not goofy. Well, funny. You could break chops with him. I broke chops with a lot. It's pranks. He was a prankster. So, but in front of other people outside in the world, he soldiered up really good, which was at times too much. Like I told you with the old timers and everything like that. It was a little too much. He was I was trying to find his footing, let's say. And it was a little too much on the outside. He had to loosen up a little bit. It was too tight. But that's the persona he thought he had to project.
Well, you guys
listen, Bobby Boriello, Jackie, Tommy, all the other guys around him. What ball breakers? You couldn't help but laugh. These guys were good guys to hang around with. Bobby, you always laugh with Bobby Boriello. Always laugh with him.
He's very informed, well-read, and he's smart like you. Were you guys debaters? Did you guys talk politics, social issues, foreign affairs?
Yeah.
The way me and you talk.
History. One of his favorite movies of all time was Spartacus. He says, before I straighten anybody out, they should watch the movie Spartacus.
The symbol of the Senate, all the power of Rome.
He gave me the book, The Art of War. The other one about the Mossad, Every Spy a Prince. Very, very well read. He's one of his favorite characters in time was Chief Joseph, an Indian, a chief.
Chief Joseph of the Nez Perce, renowned for his eloquence and leadership, left an indelible mark not only on his own people, but also on the history of Native American resistance against U.S. government policies.
His readings, very well read, like I said. And, he liked strategic books, analytical books. He was very, very smart that way. He needed more time. He needed more time with his father on the street if he was going to be a good boss.
But just like on your friendship, what I'm talking about, you guys would talk like bullshitters and talk about life and talk not about non-mob stuff. Just the way two friends talk. Like, yeah,
all the time. We went away on a ton of vacations. Did a lot of silly stuff. He had 51 acres in Roscoe, New York, the one I bought off him that the government robbed from me. We would go up there. We did paintball fights. His crew against my crew. We had paintballs. We went up there like we were in the army and goofing around. We stayed in the hotels there, the restaurants, just goofing around, just regular, no mob stuff.
Yeah.
Went some guns, did some shooting, stuff like that. It was. Well, he had a lot of the younger guys, you'd call them his kids. Meanwhile, it was his peers, his friends that he grew up with. Really good guys. Some were really hard workers. And I don't mean in the mob. I mean, real work. Glass shops, junkyards. For Junior, they worked. And a lot of other guys were just street guys, criminals. And always in trouble. And that was good, too. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. How do you think, when you develop a relationship with somebody, that's why you feel bad about a lot of things, because it happened to try to remember all the good instead of the bad. Why you want to be in a bad mood all the time? So you try to remember the good things you did in life with people, even though it was a bad event, let's say. But if you want to stay healthy up here and remember some good things, remember the good stuff you did with people, not the bad, because that's easy to get aggravated and dwell, because you push blame like that too.
Yeah, I assume the answer. I guess I ask these questions sometimes because, to try to get a deeper light. Because, two regular friends will say, hey, you see the trailer on that new movie? Let's go catch a movie tonight and watch that. It's going to be a good movie.
We just go to movies. Even later on with his kids. And Mikey, we go to the movies together. I mean, the movies in Jamaica, whatever that was, Jamaica, Poland. We go to the movies together. We go to GameStops. Where they have video games. He opened one up in, I think it was it? He opened a big game room in Hutton when I had business. He had pet stores. Go see him in the pet store. He opened up for his friend Anthony and his brother. So no, he was good that way. He was really good. We had a lot of laughs.
Yeah, he never calls and says, Michael's a bad snowstorm. Come help me shovel out the Ravenite.
Wouldn't happen.
141 Mulberry Street. When Michael was made, he came in, he walked into this door right here. This is the double doors where I believe even Junior Gotti was made here. So they came in, they walked in right here. This is the actual same place where Junior Gotti and Michael Scars, a couple other guys got made here. So they came through this door right here. And I'll show y'all right here. They went up to the second floor, right there. That's the apartment. Hope you guys can hear me. Junior Gotti was made along with Michael DiLeonardo. Michael actually shared before that it was a proud moment for him to be able to get made alongside a Gotti. So Senior never showed up. Because I think according to Michael, what Michael says is that, because his son was getting made, maybe it didn't look so good to be there while your son's getting made. Michael would have loved to have Gotti Sr. there, but whatever. But he was made with a Gotti. The Gottis are royalty, right? So anyway, that's the building right there. And if you missed it, I'll go back in real quick. They walked in here. One up here, and they went up to the second floor, and that's where they were made. And again, this is a building owned by Joe Butch. So I'm on Mulberry Street right now. Whole bunch of historical places around here. I visited a lot of stuff today, so. So my last question about Junior, we know John's hangout was like the Bergen or the Raven Night or whatever, but when John's off the street, the clubs are closing down. Where was like Junior's hangout that you would have?
Well, he had Richie's club, right? That was a club on the side where his Uncle Richie had it, and John used to go. It was with the fireplace. That's where we went after I got straightened out. Christmas Eve, we went there. That was a nucleus, but that was for the younger guys. And Richie had a lot of younger guys with him. They called that Uncle Richie's club. And then he had the Bergen, which we really didn't hang out there. That was like a Saturday thing, and that's all it was after his father was away. John loved to eat. Junior. We mostly met in restaurants all over. Traveled to restaurants. Up in Connecticut, where Louis Brage had the guy up there, Valbella later on. Beautiful restaurant. We go there. He liked Kono's. He liked Altadonna. We went to so many different restaurants. We had a lot of good times. Went to Manhattan a lot. Morton. I introduced him to Morton's Steakhouse. We had a lot of meetings up in Morton's in a private room. I was one of the first people in Morton's Steakhouse the day they opened. So I developed a relationship with the manager. I had a wine locker for Metropolitan Stone. So when we would go up there, we had the back room. And we were talking if we need to. Restaurants, mostly.
When that picture came out or whatever, where he's just sitting by himself with a hoodie on in the restaurant.
I didn't post it for everybody. Didn't see it. Could you get it?
When you see that, and I'm a kind of guy, I'm more of a body language guy than I am of like body language, just looking at somebody, just when you see that picture, knowing he's a restaurant guy, hangout guy, all this stuff, we just see him sitting by himself, life's done, it's over, he's just sitting there like just in deep
No, hold on, let me stop it right there. That life is over. That life, that kind of camaraderie for him is over. That's why John's got to get off the fence. He's on the fence.
He is.
He's got to. One side really don't want him, but it's like being in love with a girl that don't want you. It's not going to happen. He's got to get off the fence. That's a whole other story.
No, I agree. I'm glad you said that because maybe one day someone will send this clip to him and it'll be helpful to him because. But I understand why he's on the fence. Because you know what, Michael? The fence. You can tell his dad's is like a hero to him. He got his dad's portrait next to Mandela's portrait or something like that, or hang whatever. On this other fence that you have to let go of, that other side, his dad's over there. The great last Don in his mind, my father, my hero. So it's like this split screen. Me, I'm daddy. You're this new life, that other side. And to go to this other side, you have to let go of everything that you love. And it's hard. It's a tough thing.
How about that 320? I'll be giving you heads up in 10 minutes. What's up? You just let me see. Yeah.
Little pal, if daddy goes away, promise you'll be good from day to day. Do his mother say, and never sin. Be the man your daddy might have been.
What was the purpose of that?
Your daddy didn't have an easy start.
So, but when I seen that picture of him just sitting there eating by himself, no one around, somebody must have came in and snapped the picture. He didn't even know it was taken. When you see that, does that bring a sadness to you? Does it make you like, what goes through your head? What's he thinking about when he's sitting there?
100%. He's reflecting. I don't know what he was thinking, but I'll tell you what I would be thinking because I was in that position, right? You know, I have a lot of friends, right? But sometimes when you're alone, your thoughts of what was, not is when you eat alone. John does not like to eat alone. 1,000%. John said he would go to Ohika Castle or go in his backyard by himself, get a drink, smoke a cigar. Do you really think he wants to be alone? He's reflecting on that moment. Remember the scene The Godfather just came to me now, right? When he's sitting in a chair all by himself, everybody's dead, everybody's gone. That's the reflection he's thinking about. That's what, when I seen that picture, it reminded me of that. It's all over. It's all over. You're alone. But you're choosing to be alone at this point. For him, Junior. He can move on, but he has to leave luggage behind before you move on. Because that girl don't love you no more. It's never coming back. He's ruminating about a lot in the past. John, you can't unring the bell. It rung. That's it. Move on.
The thing about it, this for me as an outsider, because there's very few people. He's the person that carried the same thing that you carried before I met you. I thought you guys were like really different, like brilliant minds, like really deep thinkers, and you can do so much. A guy like him with that name and that status, do you know what he could do as far as like in the world? And like he could go speak all over the world. He's the last Don's son, carries the same name. Look, this guy has reach. He could do huge things as far as look at Franzese. Michael, he's whatever Franzese is, the Gotti name's bigger. You could argue which one's smarter, but Junior could be 10 Franzises. 10.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
He's got the name. He's got the name.
Because of the name. But you know what? He got the likability factor. He got the Hollywood smile. He got the gift of gab. He got the presence. He got the voice. He got he looks. He has to look for the camera. The world will accept his speaking, his reflecting truthfully. They're not going to accept him sitting there like trying to justify. Hold on. Just let me explain. They're not ever going to accept that. Just let it go and move on, and you can have a great life, and you can teach your grandkids and your kids a whole better way, and reflect on a lot of stuff and do good for the world.
That's right. If he really wants, he said, if he ever beat that case, one of them I read in the newspaper, he said that he would go write children's books and move to the Carolinas. He did neither, and that's part of being on the fence mentality. So he would do very, very well because he is articulate. And he has very versed in history. Look, I'll say something maybe he's not going to like. I'll say something that maybe a few other guys don't want to accept. They flipped, right? They carry a torch that, I really didn't. I may have said something, but I never did this or that. Once you write a book, you write it. That's it. You put facts there. Dead people or no dead people, putting your hand or not putting your hand up. Once you write a book and you say, I put this book out, you write it. Doesn't matter. You put people in jail. You gave out information of something you swore you never would. You can't have it both ways. The fence with the pickets is in the way. If you want to go down that road, be public. Try to explain things, except the product you put out is against everything you ever swore to when your father believed in, or anybody else. That's it. You got to get by that when you, even though you do with your cases, whatever happened, the withdrawal defense and all that, that's all ratting. Once you admit, and this is no bash at them, just maybe you wake up. You wrote a book. You're giving interviews, you're talking about people's crimes, dead or not, you rat every time you open your fucking mouth. So he can use that in a positive way, as you just asserted. Go on the university tour. Go tell people the truth, because you have the truth. And I don't mean give people up. You already talked about it. but tell them the pitfalls of what your pain is, watching your father suffer, watching all your whole family go to prison and die in jail. Those are the lessons that we carry, because his name, as you said multiple times, will carry the weight of saying, oh, we should listen to him. He's paid the price. His family's paid the price. They understand the pitfalls of being a criminal. It doesn't have to be Mafia or Cosa Nostra or anything else, of just crime. There's a penalty to pay, and it's a heavy one. It's all different. He has it. He has it right here. If he really wants to write children's books, he could go talk to universities and high schools, and et cetera, and do it. He don't need the money. He don't have to do it for the money. Let them pay for expenses, and that's it. But I think he would enjoy it.
He would love it.
Adjunct professor, if you really think about it. But I think it was a really good show, and you know, I like doing this stuff, especially this part of it. And again, we're not meant to insult Junior at all. He has to live his life the way he lives it. If he's comfortable the way he's living, eating alone at the countertop, I got one request to him, sort of a request. I watched that video. I know I said this before. Maybe you didn't see that. Maybe you'll see this one. Take your son out of the boxing ring. Open up a business for him. I don't like what I see. Everybody have a great day. God bless. Keep smiling. Eat, drink, and just relax. We're all getting old on here. And the young ones, try to set some examples. God bless. Be well.
Michael DiLeonardo, also known as Mikey Scars. The government says he's a high-ranking member of the Gambino crime family.